good? You already know what it is. It's your girl, Shady, aka Cartier, one half of the unknown unknowns. If you know and if you don't know, well, hey, thanks for joining me. It's been a little minute since I got back with y'all. Gave y'all some fresh content. I mean, after 4 friggin' seasons, we just kind of disappeared a little bit. So I just wanted to hop on and be like, hey, the show's not gone. Definitely don't want to give out the wrong impression by absolutely disappearing for the most part of a year. And so, yeah, man, it's friggin' October. It's one of my favorite spooky months. And I wanted to check in. Mobius got so much going on with his life. I actually wasn't sure whether the show was going to continue or whether I was going to start a completely separate show. And actually been working with a new team, and we are working on creating a show for Black moms. But anyway, until then, you already know what it is. It's your girl, and like I said, Moby is not gone, but he's just kind of moved on to better things. So hopefully we will have another episode before the end of the year, and me and Mobius will probably do a rundown of like all the crazy shit that's happened. So if you're interested, if you're down, or even if you're just hella pissed off at us for disappearing, definitely hit me up, hit us up on the Instagram. Definitely let us know what's going on with you. What's the last episode of the Unknown Unknowns that you heard? Or better than that, what's the most impactful episode of the Unknown Unknowns that you've heard? Because we got 4 seasons under our belt. I mean, that's something that I'm hella proud of. And it definitely wasn't easy to do. It wasn't the best, it definitely was a little rocky, but it was 4 seasons no less, and I had absolutely a great time recording it. And spending the time with my brother Mobius, having not only my little brother that passed away on the show, representing the streets, having my bonus child on the show, representing these wild ass teenagers, having one of my ex bosses, a good friend of mine's, Mr. E on the show talking about finances, having another good friend of my boss's on the show, who works for the children's hospital system, and just getting the insight on, how things are on the hospital end. And, we did all this during COVID. I mean, or throughout COVID, throughout COVID and throughout the after effects that COVID has definitely had on our community, on our people, on our lifestyle, everything. Like, for me, it's just definitely something to think about. Like, wow, we really came a long way. Obviously it was a lot easier to record and everything when we were living under those circumstances. I mean, we was cranking out, I think our first season, we might have like almost 20 episodes. And so, definitely I noticed the momentum has changed from season to season, but we've just tried our best to just be authentic and what we know that we can deliver, and just good, honest content. Where we focus on the things that matter to us, gaming, what's going on, local politics, what's going on in your body, paying attention to communication, relationships that you have with people, taking accountability for your actions, how to act around the police. I mean, bro, just sitting here reminiscing, just going back in my mind, thinking about all the episodes we have recorded. I am like, I'm so grateful and I'm so proud. Like, 4 seasons, and we talked about a lot. I mean, where your kids at? Do you know where your kids at? Like, it's such a silly little billboard. Depending on what state you in, it's such a little silly billboard that you might see. Like, where are your kids right now? Or do you know where your kids are right now? But it's a very valid question. And so, you know, the unknown unknowns was always about the brown community, and making sure we focus on things that should be talked about out in our community, things that we care about, things that's important to us. And family is definitely a part of the unknown unknowns culture. That's definitely a topic that we care about greatly, and we always want to represent, like, just something that we stand behind and we believed in, and we support. And so, man, Mobius, I miss you. I know you ain't going to listen to this podcast. It's so crazy because I recently found myself on an airplane to California listening to my podcast. I didn't have anything else on my phone that I could listen to without Wi-Fi, but I definitely had our episodes on there, and I was like, hell, let me go back and listen to the first friggin' episode. And when I tell you, I was just in awe, and I was just so proud, and I'm just like, the first episode sounds like the second, third, eighth, episode. I mean, I definitely was a little bit mixed up on the episode. We didn't have everything like super planned out. And at one point, that was really important to us. During the first season, it was a lot of like making sure that we had like at least the topics listed. And then I don't know if it was like the second season when I started incorporating poems. So then I had to make sure I had written like a custom poem for every episode to make sure that it matched the topic. I mean, all of these things was just like, I don't know, like it was just the growing pains of the podcast. And it's just something that I'm absolutely proud to, had to be a part of. Growing pains, just things I had to learn how to manage and how to make it work, and all of that. Like I'm definitely so grateful. And then learning how to edit audio, audio and visuals. I mean, that was definitely quite the adventure right there. Because that's a lot of responsibility. And so, like I said, just listening to the first episode, season one, it definitely just meant a lot to me. Talking about video games, something that we hold very dear to our heart, me and Mobius. I mean, that's something that no matter like our childhood and how we didn't grow up completely together, because at one point we were separated, it's just a reminder of like that's something that we always kind of come back to and relate with each other and end up remembering and having a good time. And even to the point where a few years ago we had our little gaming party with the Nintendo 64 and the Sega, and just taking a moment to remember like our childhood and the good days and the fun times, and when things was easier and simpler, and that type of vibe. So yeah, so I definitely feel like if we continue with the unknowns, that's definitely going to continue to be a major part of the show, because that's something that means a lot to us, always. And so we're going to keep talking about that good old gaming news. We're going to keep talking about things that's going on. With this kind of like being a solo episode, me personally, I just wanted to, kind of touch on, and I guess this is literally like every year towards the end of the year, it's like the same type of things that we talking about. It's more of almost like a wrap up of like, what the hell, the country's on fire, what has been going on in the news, like shit is so fucking bizarre. But I just wanted to touch on like this weird shit that's going on. I feel like the last trial that we even brought up on the show at all was about R. Kelly. And not like I did any type of in-depth review or anything like that about it, but I just kind of talked about it and how, it's crazy how you might know stuff, you might talk about stuff, people want to ignore you, not acknowledge you, or call you crazy, or call you a conspiracy theorist, or call you whatever they gotta call you to make an excuse to ignore the things that you're saying. And it's just so crazy how I spent so many years dealing with that. Not just in regard to, R. Kelly in general, but just sexual abuse and how common it is and how ignored it is and how, you know, essentially hard it is for a woman to come out about these things, because we're often punished, not rewarded for our truths. You know, at the end of the day, a really common thing that we have to listen to, that we have to hear, that we have to live with, and that's absolutely painful. Um, is that, hey, you know, you were sexually abused and it was your fault because you were dressed provocatively, because you had red lipsticks, because you look sexy, because you were in the wrong place and the wrong time. And so therefore, that's why this thing that essentially shouldn't have happened to you, that's how it happened to you. That's why it happened to you. You know, it's all your fault. And that kind of narrative is just something that always just, you know, it makes it hard for you as a woman, or anybody really, to speak your truth when the odds are stacked against you. And so I just wanted to say just how important it is to speak on it. You know, I'm not really invested. You know, we don't really we might talk about pop news, but celebrity news is not something that we heavily focus on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not really a goal of ours here at the Unknown Unknowns. That's not a focus. That's not necessarily important for us to discuss. But at the same time, you know, it is something that comes up, and I feel like it definitely affects the black community. It affects all communities. The black community, because obviously P. Diddy is, excuse me, Sean Puffy Combs, or whatever the fuck this guy name is. Obviously he is black, you know, so it is like, to a point, it's like black entertainment news, absolutely 100%, and I get that. At the same time, um, I feel like the most notable part of the conversation is absolutely that it's in regard to sexual abuse, violence, trafficking, scaring people, what you call it? Yeah, technically, that's, you know, I mean, it's so many different things, but like bullying, you know, threatening people, taking advantage of people's mental state, whether it's while they're on drugs or whether you're just using your influence to scare them or to control them or to manipulate them. You know, it is all very sad, you know, to find out that a person of color with such power is taking advantage of that gift and that opportunity there. And it is, you know, I don't know what to say other than it's really unfortunate. I feel like it's something that can't be ignored, and I don't want to stretch it out more than that. So with that being said, you know, we're definitely not going to ignore it. That's definitely something that I want to talk about very briefly with you. And like I said, I just want to, you know, make it known that we haven't disappeared and that we are still looking forward to cooking up in the laboratory, the Unknown Unknowns laboratory. We definitely been trying to figure out how to get this OBS situation together, how to, you know, record seamlessly, in, you know, in different locations. I forgot what you call it. But, you know, so that's just a few things we've been working on. But yeah, so I just want to touch on, what's been going on, man. Moby has got this new job. He living his best life. I'm so freaking proud of that guy. I'm currently in California right now, and that absolutely prompted me to take this time and say, hey, it is time for the unknown unknowns to get back up and get back at it. I mean, it's time for me to really get on my grind and not forget, like, what is important to me, what means a whole bunch to me. And that's definitely this show. It has meant a lot to me for a very long time. And I'm just absolutely, like I said, grateful, you know, to have that opportunity. So, not going to keep mumbling and fumbling over it. This is a little interlude kind of episode right here. Question, Q&A, you know, whatever, what's been going on. We coming back, kind of letting you know we haven't disappeared. So, I definitely don't have any gaming news. It's really just everything that's off the top of my head and what's on my mind. And like I said, just trying to give y'all updates. So first and foremost, this trip to California was prompted by the Small Business Expo in San Francisco. Shout out to the Small Business Expo. Shout out to the company that runs it. Definitely check it out. They're all over the United States. So check it out and see if it's coming to a city near you. Unfortunately, the San Francisco joint was a little disappointing. Excuse me. Unfortunately, the San Francisco joint was a little disappointing to me. I would say there definitely was not as many people as I thought there was gonna be, and I just expected it to be more people than the Washington D.C. Honestly, that was really my only expectation, is that it just would have been more people than that, and unfortunately that was not the case. So but that was cool. I definitely did my best to try to network with people, went to a couple classes, um and at the end of the day, I definitely felt like it was just regurgitated information that I already heard and I already knew. But at the same time, it's nice to be reassured that, like, in your field that you want to call yourself an expert in, that you know what's going on, you have a grasp of what's going on, and that you're basically on the right track when it comes to your concepts and your ideas. And it was just definitely nice to, like, meet people who are just, like, on the same wavelength of, like, I'm out here grinding and I'm looking for opportunity, and no matter what, I'm not gonna let nothing stop me, because I'm even aspiring to be a small business owner, or I am a small business owner, and I just haven't tapped into the level of success that I'm ultimately looking for. And so, all day in the paint, I'm grateful for the customers that I had so far. Basically only because of word of mouth. Definitely grateful for that. But at the same time, it has just been, so important for me to do everything I can to get my business out there, marketing wise, get my name out there, get my brand out there, just get some attention so I could get some clients. Because I'm really not about the attention part, honestly. But I just need to make sure people know that, asynchronous reality telecom is a trustworthy business. And if you've been with us since season 1, then you've definitely heard of asynchronous reality telecom before. We got a little running joke on the show, like that's the sponsor of the unknown unknowns. Because at the end of the day, the computer that I got to do it, the microphones, headphones, everything, all of those things have literally been purchased to help with the podcast, and it's all on the bill of ART LLC. So again, thank you, ART LLC, for being the sponsor of the Unknown Unknowns. Yeah, so at the same time, that's why I came here, but I wanted to make sure that, hey, I take advantage of this opportunity, having a little bit quiet, being alone, having some time to really think about my business, my ventures, my adventures. How can I take advantage of them? How can I make it lucrative? How can I maximize the opportunities that I have been ultimately given? And so for me, the interns play a major part of that. Every year my business get interns, and I love helping these students, realize what it is that they actually want to do for the rest of their life. That really means a lot to me, to be able to be a part of it, of like, hey, what is it that you want to learn, and here's the opportunity to get paid to learn it, to decide if this is something that you want to be, stuck dealing with forever, or whether you want to try and test out something else. Because one thing for sure that I feel like I learned the hard way is that paying $20,000 to go to college and graduate, and then not even working in that line of field, is really heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking, and it's really stressful to owe all this money in student loans and ultimately at the end of the day not be able to reap the benefit because you've decided now that that's something that you don't want to do with your life. So is it better to just be like, oh, I already paid all this money, already owe all this money, already have in this debt, I have no choice? Or is it better to just go ahead and find something that it is that you want to do and do that? And so we got to stop kind of rushing our very serious life decisions, because at the end of the day, it's vital that we look at it like, what do you want to be doing for the next 40 years? Like, if you eat right, if you plan on doing anything right health wise, you have at least 40, 60, 70 years that you could live and continue to live. So do you want to do this for 20 years because you're miserable, but it's going to make you money right now, and then try to switch your whole life when you're, older and not going to be even taken seriously? Or, do we take this opportunity now and to say, hey, well, maybe this really isn't for me anymore? And so anyway, let's just get back to the expo. I pulled up in California. I'm at the expo. It was a little small, but I appreciate the opportunity to focus on my business. And like I said, I'm just going to continue getting my interns, focusing on helping and rebuilding the community. Our main focus have been creating financial literacy products. And when I say products, I mean we're selling them for like 99 cents, or if you just go on my website and you fill out the contact form, you could get a free financial literacy product. So that's something that I'm going to be putting on the website for this fall season going into the year 2025, of like, hey, do you have your business together? Do you have your website together? Do you have your business plan together? Because guess what? ARTLLC can help you do all of those things, not just make your website. We want to help you become successful. And that's really what's most important. That's really what my goal as a business owner. And it's crazy. I've literally been told that it should be a nonprofit. Just because the way I operate, the way I think, and what my ideal purpose is for my business. And so, while it's not a nonprofit, I'm definitely going to use the unknown unknowns to like share as many resources and as much information as possible. Because our goal is really to help the community. And so I think the only other thing other than the Diddy trial I want to talk about is probably this uprising of Candace Owens. I mean, I have been seeing her, off and on for the past 5 years, just dibble and dabbling in politics and always popping out, having some outrageous stuff to say. But as a black woman watching another black woman research a woman that claims to be a black woman and come to find out she's not, it has been a stressful roller coaster and a stressful ride, that just continually be reminded that the government doesn't care about you. They will lie to you, and you're essentially just a sacrifice for them to get where they want the world to be. Not just, it's not just about you personally. It's like, what is their plan for the world? Either you're a part of it or you're not. And I'm definitely feeling like we're not. I'm not the 1%, so I'm not included. Yeah, just watching that, I feel like it's not even just about like this lady lied and said she was black to get black votes. This lady created an entire character. This lady didn't just tell one lie. This lady lied for like the past 5 years. She's been lying, and probably, I mean, I would like to think the past 5 years. Because the Biden administration, 4 years, and then of course, before they said that she was even a pick. I don't know. That gives her another 1 or 2 years. I'm not sure. When Biden actually decided she was a pick. But at the end of the day, it's like these people are willing to write books about lies, hire other people to write books about lies, put lies, lie about photographs of people, this is the US government. Like, this is what's going on. You know, in other countries, it wouldn't be a problem to question the race of a leader, because it's not just about your race, it's about your background, it's about what do you come from, what do you believe in, and what do the people that you come from believe in, and whether you are affected by these things. And so, you know, when we think about Hitler and Judaism, you know, I feel like that's the only thing in America that we can agree on. You know, maybe we are not ready for a outright German president. But that's definitely something that I was also extremely concerned about while watching Candace Owens digest, you know, the research that she's been doing and come up with these kind of ideas of like what, you know, who her blood family really is, like what really happened, what's really true. That's what I'm trying to say. What's really true between her father writing a book and it seeming shady as all hell, and then, you know, the book that she wrote, and then the names, the birth certificates, the death certificates, the pictures, the shit, it's just not concurring. It was just like this shit is just, it's hella out of pocket. And so at the end of the day, it's like I always knew that something wasn't fucking right. And y'all are just getting so outright and point blank period with this shit. Like, yes, we are lying. We are fucking you over and we don't care. And we're still going to say we're the U.S. government. And we're still going to say that you are treasonous if you don't believe or bang or follow everything that we fucking say. And it's just, it's out of pocket. So to just to finish up and follow that, you know, I heard a couple different things about Charles Manson really being the FBI plant. You know, about they trying to say that Epstein really also was a plant. He wasn't really raping these girls. Listen, even if you're snitching to the government about what's going on, even if you work for the government, if you're raping girls, you're raping girls. I don't give a fuck. If they sent you to be a spy and the qualification for the spy role was to rape girls, you ain't shit. That's just all too much. I'm tired of being lied to. I'm tired of being manipulated. And it's at this point, it's like, welcome to America, guys. It's the fucking ghetto. The other thing I want to talk about is all the money that the president is giving out to everybody else, except for the people that live in this country and pay taxes in this country and been living and paying taxes and struggling in this country. You're feeding and you're taking care of everybody the fuck else. What about your own people? We need to get our shit together first before we can help other people get their shit together. And so I know absolutely it's really the politics be politicking, because at the end of the day, if we borrowing and getting money from other countries and shit, like we got to pay back. We got to give back. Like everybody, there's kickbacks everywhere all the time that got to be taken care of when it comes to every presidency. Like, they didn't just win that shit because they really fucking deserve it. Like, everybody got some shicey shit with them. That's why all the shit between the shit that Biden did, the shit that his son did, that's something like, y'all prosecuting Trump. Trump ain't shit too, but y'all ain't shit either. What? So, anyway, back to the politics be politicking. This shit just trifling. Y'all get away with the shadiest shit. Then it take 20, 30 years for y'all to get the shit published. FBI, CIA documents finally being released out to the public. It's fucking sickening and it's disgusting how you guys are just manipulating the people. Like, it's supposed to be about the people and it doesn't feel like it's about the people. It feels like it's always about anything else. Money, land, oil, you know, toilet paper, eggs. Like, this shit is just fucking wild out here. And so it's just really fucking depressing to live in the matrix that we live in. And then to find out motherfuckers like Diddy got videos of our top politicians doing shit that they probably shouldn't be doing, surrounded by people who are fucking with little kids and doing all type of weird shit. Because at the end of the day, just because you was at the party, just because you was at the freak off, don't mean that you was doing something illegal. But if you was at the freak off and you seen it was a little kid walking around out there and you ain't fucking say nothing, you ain't do no interviews, you ain't fucking low key dry snitching to nobody, you're fucking trash, bro. I don't care. That stop snitching stuff is all good until we talk about pedophilia. I'm not with that shit no more. You'll stand for nothing. You a bitch. If you won't, if you'll stand for nothing, you better stand for something. You got me fucked up. I can't figure out how to say it, but listen, it's your girl Shady, aka Cartier, one half of the unknown unknowns. This has been the 30-minute left break off the top California session. West Coast, baby. Get back with me. I miss y'all so fucking much. Mobius is coming back. I don't know when he coming back, but Mobius definitely coming back. I might introduce y'all to my new podcast. I don't know. We gotta figure out what we gonna do. All I know is I really fucking miss y'all. I gotta get back on Xbox, get some more video content. You know what I'm saying? Man, get back in the lab. Get back in the unknown unknowns laboratory, man, because I really miss y'all. Talking about all this real shit. It's too much real stuff that's been going on. They keep killing us. That lady that they killed in the kitchen with that powdered water. Man, rest in peace, everybody, man. There's all this death that's going on, all this violence that's going on, that's making motherfuckers lose help, man. Don't turn to the bottle, don't turn to the pills, don't turn to the drink. Just turn to your inner self and love and acceptance. You know I be preaching that real good word. You know I believe in that man up top. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not banging with the man up top, or if you done been through so much shit that you can't even connect, you can't even feel it, you can't even appreciate what the man up top got for you, then looking within yourself. You are beautiful. You are amazing. You are special. You are chosen. And even if you ain't living like it right now, just for the chance of the inkling of the opportunity, the size of a mustard seed, baby, I believe in you. And I got your back. You feel me? So, whatever. Believe in yourself. Hold yourself down. Don't let nobody play with you. You know what I'm saying? Stop murdering these babies out here. And it's your girl Shady, aka Cartier. Hit us on the Unknown Unknowns Instagram. That's unknown period unknowns. But instead of a O, it's a 0. Instead of a S, it's a 5. Holla!